you always have rook g8 to win that pawn by force, because now he won't have that rook f8 check idea. So whenever he moves up rook off the f file, you'll be able to win that g7 pawn. And his knight's pinned, his king is kind of boxed in. Like, if it goes forward, he might lose the a pawn. If it goes backward, it's not really doing anything. So, I mean, maybe technically he could still win this, but it would have made it a lot harder. But after rook takes knight, unfortunately, it's kind of trivial for him because he just plays rook f8 next move and he can clean his pawn by force. So I think you just miscalculated the fact that you didn't really have a defense after rook takes knight. And then after king a7, he just has rook f7 and rook f8. And yeah, he cleans the pawn by force. So.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, that was actually instructive in terms of, you know, having a passive position, having your pieces kind of pretty uncoordinated over on the king side, and still managing to create quite a bit of counterplay on the queen side. So even though your queen side attack was much slower than his king side attack, like, it actually bore more fruit in the end. Because I mean, you ended up winning material. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough material, but it was, you won material, which was surprising, and I don't think most people in the chat or I expected that to happen. You know, looking 5 moves before. So.
Sure.
So yeah, so was that educational for you?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time for that.
Yeah, no problem. Hope people in the chat liked it.
I'd do it again.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being the guinea pig for it. And if I do it again, I will let you know for sure.
All right.
All right, take care.
Thanks so much.
Sure, bye. Okay. So did you guys like that? Was that good? And special thank you to Montsalvat again for lending us his dulcet tones, and as well as letting us critique his game, because there was 70 of you at one point. So you guys are harsh critics. So special thank you to him. You guys liked it? Okay. Did you guys have any questions specifically about the game other than what I covered? I tried to be pretty in-depth about my analysis, but yeah. But was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about this game specifically? I think we covered all the major points, but you see how losing tempi in the middle game was a problem for him. So it basically cost him, you know, 4 or 5 moves of his attack, which he somehow got back, but unfortunately turned out not to be enough. So. Thanks, Hodari. Questions or comments on YouTube. Yeah, be sure to follow. Hey, Anfink. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not an expert in the Caro-Kann, but I know some basic ideas, and so yeah, I mean, he should have been trying to expand on the queen side much sooner. Like, it ended up in the case where he made too many king side moves. So yeah, g5 was probably a little. I mean, the problem is this rook on h7 is so unnatural. Like, that's the real problem. So, and also the fact that he played queen c7 made it so that, like, this e6 idea was always looming. So that's another reason why queen c7 was not the best idea. And if he had played e6 sooner, like, he wouldn't have to worry about any of this. So maybe e6 first was right. Because yeah, g5 kind of led to there being f4 having like a latch to latch onto. So yeah, g5 might have been a little premature, but I mean, if he had played the queenside attack a little more carefully, I don't think g5 would have been too much of an issue. But yeah, I would prefer to probably just play e6. And hey, exit 0. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys like this, follow for more, hopefully. But yeah, thanks again to Montsalvat for that education.